I started out not as an intern, but I highly recommend internships. It's a really good way to get your foot in the door. You can really impress people, and I think your odds of getting hired are much greater if you start as an intern than just knocking on the door and trying to get in, or even going the route I did. I was the production secretary. That's how I started. And so I went to WTTW and had an opening to be the administrative assistant for the senior vice president of production, and I took that job thinking I might be able to get my foot in the door, and I very quickly realized that they were very needy there at WTTW. They didn't have enough people, and I got to do all kinds of production things even as an administrative assistant. So that was my route in. After I was there a while, I became a production assistant, and that meant I was working on a cooking show, ironing tablecloths, buying groceries, getting the wardrobe for the host of the show, all kinds of things, putting food out, kind of food styling. And here's my recommendation if you're going to be an intern or a PA. This is really important. Show that you are as interested in the small things as you are in the big things. So if someone says, we need 25 collated copies of this 50-page script, make that exactly perfect and do that right, and do it with a smile, and do it, just do it right. And what they'll say is, this person really did a good job with that, so let's give him or her this. And that's how you do it. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to copy these scripts because that's not what I want to do. I want to be this. And you're not really doing yourself any favor by skipping out those little things, because you'll come around to be an executive producer one day and you'll find yourself Xeroxing scripts. You have to know how to, run the Xerox machine. So I started as a secretary. I moved into PA. Then I became an associate producer at WTTW, and I got to go out in the field and work on lots of different productions. And that is where I start to learn the technical side, the camera, the lighting, the sound. I didn't know how to run the camera, but I knew what made for a good shot after I was with these guys in the field all the time. I knew that you shouldn't shoot into the sun. You shoot, you shoot with the sun on your subject. I learned how to work with talent. So I started building my skills right around this level here, associate producer. Then I became a producer, and that's where you start to call the shots creatively. So now you're not working for somebody else. You're the one that has to come up with the program and write the script and oversee the edit. So that's where you can really, get your creative juices flowing. Not that when you're out in the field with somebody else, they're your boss and you can't throw out an idea or two. They like that. You just have to know what your limit is there. Some people in television, they don't want to think that someone below them knows more than they do. This is not a good thing. So you kind of know your place, and there's some decorum there out in the field and with the talent. But I think make yourself known if you're out there and you do have some good ideas. Maybe you go pull the producer aside and you say, what if we did this, instead of in front of the talent. So basically, I find that people want to work with people they like, people that are easy to get along with. They may find somebody who knows a lot more than you do, but if they can get along with you better, they'll choose you over that other person. So it's not always what you know, it's just who you are when you're out there, when you're on the set, when you're in the control room, when you're out in the field, when you're in the truck. Anybody here ever been in a production truck? You have? Anybody back here? Yeah, that's where it gets real hot and heavy, So you have your director in there, and it is really tense. So you're not going to yell out something, hey, wait a minute, how about this? It's really where everybody's focused on a live production. So you really have to start to pay attention to the chemistry and the dynamic of everybody and their place and their part, and try your best to ease into that situation instead of kind of going in and, taking control of it. Once you get up into, I became a reporter. After that, I was on camera for 2 years, which I didn't really care for, but that was just what I was told I had to do. Then I became an executive producer, and at that point is when I was able to tell everybody else, how things should go, still seeking their input, asking them to offer creative suggestions for making the programs better. That's where your people skills really come in handy. And you rely on all those things you learned starting when you were at the very bottom. If you take all those steps, by the time you're in control of a production, you know how to do all the jobs. So you could empathize with people when they say, but the mic didn't work, I didn't put a windscreen on the mic. You know what they've gone through, and you can help them think that through better the next time. So nobody's doing you favors when they put you at the top of something before you've earned your way there. I think it's really important to just do all the hard work to get there. Yes.
As far as the talent that you try and find, do you just do video talent or like on-air talent, or do you do radio as well, or what do you do? Just for anything, as far as when you say talent. I mean, are you talking about just specific for TV?
Yeah, for me, I do TV. I do TV. I've created some radio shows and written some radio and things like that, but I usually use existing talent. What's happening now in the networks is they really want you to build shows around proven talent, rock star talent, emerging talent. They like it less when you come to them with a show idea and you say, could you build a show around this person? Well, who's that? You know, they don't like to take risks at all. Television networks don't like to take risks because their head will roll if that thing doesn't work out. Well, who was, you know, we didn't know who that was, and you wanted to give him a shot, and he didn't work out. So what you'll see is like Food Network. A lot of these same rock star chefs are on not one show, but 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 shows now because everybody have a following. So the best thing to do is incubate the talent on the web. And get that following, and then present something and said, look, we got 100,000 hits on this web series that we just did. And everybody starts to know who that, remember that guy, shit your father says, remember that guy? That started on the web and went on to TV. But they don't like to take risks. But so usually they build shows around talent that's already out there. It's really hard to be a nobody.
Kind of hard to say, you know, we need experience. When you go into an interview, you say, hey, we need somebody with experience. How do you get experience unless you allow me to get the experience?
Intern, and then sometimes they'll let you read commercials, and then next thing you know, they like the way you sound. And there is a girl that's on the air right now on the radio, and I can't think of what her name is, who started as an intern. Any other questions about anything? Yes?
I want to know a little bit about the media training. Does it cost, or what's the process of getting that training from you?
Well, I did train R.C. Akvertinian. She was here. She did media training with me. I talk with you for a long time about what you want to do and what your strengths are, and then I write scripts, and then we go out and we shoot the pieces with you, and I teach you back on camera. I show you what you've done, and you could be just sitting in a room or you could be out in the field, and I show you what you look like, and I give you tips, and then we do it again and again and again. And Eric is someone who got better real fast.
Okay.
And
well, I'd love to get that training if you can give me a card.
yeah, please just friend me on LinkedIn or come up to me and I'll take your information and we can talk.
Okay. When you say that they start, like the shows start on a web series and then they can possibly move on if they get a following and whatnot, do you know, is there like some kind of like tip or something to, if you're going to start something on as a web series to get it better, like publicity or popularity? I
think the best thing to do is to, first of all, add regular content. Like every Wednesday, there's a new something for people to come to. They're not going to come back if every time they come, there's nothing new there. So always regular, regular, regular. And then try to blast that out, tweet it out, Facebook, whatever, email. Next Wednesday, this is coming. And then you get people coming and tweeting. And then if you can collaborate with other people, if you can get on someone's website and you want shares. That's a big thing. So who can get you more shares? Who can exponentially compound intra? Who can do that for you? Start to think and then ask, can we put this on your website? So just get all those players lined up. That's the fastest way to do it. I'll play you a little clip from a children's show I was asked to create. We had the money from J.P. Morgan Chase. They said, teach kids about money. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to take Chicago public school children, and I'm going to put them in the field and kids listen to kids. If I tell a kid, start saving your money, they're not going to do it. And the parents are kind of like the blind leading the blind when it comes to finances. So I thought, well, what if a kid tells another kid to watch what you spend? You know, they're going to maybe listen to each other. So first thing I did was found somebody who'd written some curriculum about financial literacy for children. I collaborated with her, and I turned her curriculum into scripts, and then I had the children do it from there. So I mean, these are a little corny, but let me just show you one little episode. They're 30 seconds or something like that, 60 seconds. Oh. Should I just hit cancel? Yeah. Okay.
Money savvy pigtail! So, it's my birthday, and my mom told me to write a list of things that I want and a list of things that I need. The stuff that I want, that's the easy part. What do I need? Well, summer's coming, so I'll definitely need shorts and a bathing suit. And what else? Oh, I know, a clear speed bike. What? That surprises you? Kids need fun, don't they? Okay, well maybe it's not a need, but it's something that I really want.
That's like something, that's called an interstitial. That would show up between Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers in that commercial break there. Because PBS Kids, there are no commercials for products. So they like interstitials like this.